It was called Operation El Dorado Canyon. The attack on Libya almost 24 hours ago has left many Libyans dead or injured. 2 American Air Force officers and their aircraft still missing. They are the pilot of an F-111, Captain Fernando Ribas Dominici from Puerto Rico, and his weapons officer, the man in the back seat, Captain Paul Lorentz from San Francisco. The attack has had an effect on American-Soviet relations. And today, in a challenge which proved ineffective, the Libyans attempted to hit back. A Libyan motor patrol boat fired 2 missiles at an American Coast Guard installation here on the Italian island of Lampedusa, about 175 miles north of the Libyan coast. There was no damage and no American casualties. Tonight, the Libyans thought they were under attack again. It wasn't us, said the Reagan administration. But there was a lot of Libyan shooting into the dark night sky. Here's ABC's Charles Glass in Tripoli.
A second night of firing into the sky above Tripoli. If there were planes overhead, the Libyan anti-aircraft batteries clearly didn't bring them down. If there were not, it may be just a case of nerves among an increasingly worried Libyan population. Most of the Libyans were terrified during last night's heavy bombing raid. Last night's 2 a.m. air raid took the sleepy capital completely by surprise. Colonel Gaddafi himself was reportedly unharmed, and to prove the point, Libyan television showed footage of the leader apparently meeting with officials today. Among last night's casualties, 3 of the children of Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi. Pediatricians said his 15-month-old adopted daughter Hanna died from the concussion of the bomb which hit Gaddafi's headquarters. Severely wounded were his 2 sons, 3-year-old Khamis and 4-year-old Saif al-Arab. Last night's raid took a heavy toll here. Libyan officials admit the hits on Gaddafi's headquarters and some military installations. But the Ministry of Information took us this morning to see for ourselves what damage had been done to one residential neighborhood. One of the damaged houses was the official residence of the ambassador of Japan. He said the U.S. may have been trying to hit an intelligence bureau in the neighborhood. If the American warplanes were aiming to hit the Central Security Force headquarters nearby, they missed badly. Instead, they killed innocent civilians and destroyed civilian homes. The French embassy was clearly hit in the raid, but worst hit of all were the homes of ordinary Libyans. One bomb, which left a 30-foot crater in the middle of the street, destroyed houses on both sides. Families were rendered homeless. Journalists have so far seen 14 dead civilians with many more wounded. The actual figures may never be known. In the hospital, children cried out in pain. Doctors worked hard to treat the wounded. Libyan survivors of the attack were shocked and angry, with their anger directed firmly at the United States. Libya, meanwhile, called on the U.S. through the Belgian ambassador, who represents Libyan interests here, to agree to an immediate ceasefire. Charles Glass, ABC News in Tripoli, Libya.